Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Founders Conversation, July edition, whose theme is Lead Yourself First, Unlocking the Power of Personal Leadership. Before you lead others, you must lead yourself. This month focuses on mindset, self discipline, and the emotional intelligence required to sustain momentum, make bold decisions, and show up consistently, personally, and professionally. My name is Kathy Karaoke, coordinator with Founders Profit Academy, which is a community within SME Founders Association. At FPA, we help business owners grow, scale, and thrive through our specialized coaching framework. In my role, I support our license training coaching programs where we provide the tools and support entrepreneurs to reach their full potential. Today, we are excited to dive into a critical topic for SMEs, on self awareness and emotional intelligence for founders. Let us help you discover how to understand yourself, enhance your ability to lead, communicate, and build authentic relationships. I'm thrilled to introduce to you today our speaker, Frida Owinga. Let me take you through her bio. So, today we are honored to be guided by a woman who embodies the spirit of transformative leadership, having empowered more than 12,000 people with essential tools, networks, and access to markets. Frida Owinga is not just a seasoned entrepreneur with over two decades of experience. She's a movement builder, a thought leader, and a relentless champion for small and medium enterprise owners across Africa. As the visionary founder of the SME Founders Association, Frida has created a thriving ecosystem of mentorship, collaboration, and advocacy where business owners not only are supported but are empowered to scale beyond borders. Through her powerhouse company, Passion Profit, she delivers enterprise and leadership development solutions that challenge the norm and ignite purpose driven performance. Frida's approach isn't just theoretical, it's practical, bold, and deeply human. Her work reshapes paradigms, inspires clarity of visions, and fuels the kind of action that transforms both organizations and individuals. So, whether you're just starting out or scaling new heights, Frida helps leaders rise, step into their courage, and build legacies that matter. Please welcome the dynamic, passionate, and empowering Frida Owinga.
Alrighty, here we are. I've
Hi,
been longing
Frida.
to be invited to this show.
Karibu
So I'm
sana.
finally here.
Welcome to my hot seat.
Thank you very much. It's quite hot and it's very cold where I am, so I think it's going to be a fantastic conversation. How are you?
I'm well, keeping warm.
Awesome.
Yes. So let's get down to it. So let's think about foundational self awareness. Probably you can guide us on what self awareness really looks like for a founder who is committed to strong self leadership, especially in the uncertain and high pressure entrepreneurial environment.
I like that high pressure entrepreneurial environment. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that we chose for ourselves. Nobody sent us there.
Yes.
But for me, self awareness starts with knowing how I show up. And over the years, I've become more conscious how I show up
Mhm.
because you can choose how you show up, or you can just show up randomly. But it's important that you choose how you show up because that is what will create the impact. So I show up candidly, I show up honestly, and sometimes it makes people uncomfortable. I've been called many names, sandpaper, some have called me sweet and sour, and some have even called me refiner because I speak truths that aren't always sugar coated. But these days, I prepare people before I speak because I've learned that being authentic doesn't mean being abrasive. So while showing up candidly and honestly, some people have taken as abrasive, I have taken it as honesty is the best policy. So as the world has given me feedback that my approach is abrasive, I have learned to prepare people before I speak. Like all those that are listening right now, I'm preparing you that number one, when you hear me, you'll either catch feelings or you will catch wisdom. You will catch feelings if the things I say rub you the wrong way. But I want to encourage you today to lean into the things that I say that rub you the wrong way and ask yourself, why is what Frida is saying rubbing me the wrong way? Is it true? Is it because somebody said this and I got hurt? Is it a trigger? Why is it rubbing you the wrong way? Because I don't know you. I just showed up, and as I'm showing up, I'm showing out with my authentic self to give you some truths that should transform you. I'm not interested in performing, I'm not interested in being liked, but I'm interested in sharing with you something that you may already know and are not doing, or something that you can change and you'll get a different result. So, foundational self awareness is understanding how you show up, first knowing how you show up, and understanding how the people you show up to respond. So, paying attention to that feedback. The world is always giving us feedback. We can take that feedback to heart or we can take it back to the drawing board. If it hurts you, what has it triggered in you? Is it something you're willing to change? Is it something that is true? Or is it something that you can discard? So for me, that is foundational self awareness. Thank you, Kathy.
Well, now that you've actually mentioned that, let's see what self leadership habits have helped you build that inner clarity and consistency in how you show up every day.
Thank you for that question. There are three things. Number one, understanding who is my audience. Because today you have invited me on SME Founders Association platform to have a conversation with founders. The founders may be here right now on LinkedIn or they may watch this later. So I understand I'm not just talking to anybody, I'm talking to founders who are functioning in a high pressure environment. And then the next thing is, what do I want to achieve with that audience? All right. And the third thing is, how will it benefit them? So the first thing I want to achieve is for them to understand that they got into this pressure environment by choice. For them to understand that just because it's hard does not mean they need to quit. What are some things they can do to make that high pressure enjoyable? Because I believe in enjoying life no matter what. That's why I talk about thriving. I remember when I started my first company, Passion Profit, in Kenya, everybody you would ask, how is business? They would say, tunangangana, tunasukuma. And you can translate for those that are not, our listeners that don't understand English. So that bugged me, Kathy. I said, what can I do so people can love and enjoy what they do? So this
Mhm.
business, it is just a group thing that everybody says tunangangana, tunasukuma, or some people are making it, but they're afraid of black tax. So they all say tunangangana, tunasukuma, but we don't realize that, again, self-awareness, that what we say, what we think and what we say will determine our experience. So, are you following groupthink so that you conform, or are you willing to stand to transform by standing out? So, when I show up, my goal is not to impress, but my goal is to share an insight that can transform you. I'm not here to perform, I'm here to transform. Three things: who is my audience? What do I want to achieve with them? How will what I'm saying benefit others? That awareness brings clarity and consistency in how I show up, even when the room shifts or the pressure mounts. Back to you, Kathy.
Wow, that one is a power part. I think you need to add that one. I think I'll add for you. What have I seen? I think showing up. I think showing up in terms of time. Sorry, I want you to talk about time.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
You know why? You know why I want you to actually pick on it right now is because
Yes.
we find that entrepreneurs keep saying they don't have time. So they don't have time to actually come, say, for the coaching session. They don't have time to go through your leadership program. It's like you're there in too many minds. Is it going to be beneficial to me? Because it's going to take me away time from my business. So please.
Thank you so much for that direction. Number one, we all have 24 hours, okay? And we all have the ability of choice on how to use these 24 hours, all right?
Yes.
Somebody once said, I can't remember who, that we can divide that 24 hours into three, and we'll have 8 hours for sleeping, 8 hours sleeping or resting, whichever way you want to rest, and then
Mhm.
8 hours for work and 8 hours for play. So you have 24 hours. It doesn't mean that the sleep and work have to be like if I'm sleeping at 9, I have to sleep 8 straight hours. It can be within a 24-hour cycle. I prioritize sleep and ensure that I have done my 8 hours of sleep. So I am well rested and I'm not cranky when I'm with people, because that is really who I am. When I'm cranky, I start noticing that I'm being cranky. I know that I've not put in my 8 hours of rest. I step back and put in my 8 hours of rest. My 8 hours of play. My 8 hours of play could be just stepping back. I like being alone. I'm a loner. Stepping back. If I've worked hard and I've gotten some, milestones crashed, I eat
Yeah.
what I like. I call it to come at home. Now we have a delivery. I love
Yeah.
COVID for that. And then my 8 hours of work, I work for different organizations because I'm a leadership and enterprise development professional. Many people put me in a box. They put me in the Passion Profit
Mhm.
box or the We Connect box or which other box do they put me? In the FFA box, in
Right.
the Always box. So there are many boxes people put me into, and I don't blame them because those are the little peaks of Frida they see on social media. However, Frida
Mhm.
is a leadership and enterprise development professional who creates ecosystems. And by ecosystems, I mean when I'm creating an ecosystem for We Connect, I'm encouraging women to register and certify on our platform so that we can connect them to buyers who are in who are in impact sourcing. These buyers will give them contracts, and these contracts will add more money into their pockets. So they are not just looking for one-on-one consumers. When I'm with Passion Profit, I'm strengthening institutions so that they can deliver on their profit. And strengthening an institution requires multiple stakeholders. So there's the team, the founder, the team, and then which other partners do you need to be in your organization so that you can thrive. So all these things, I look at my 24 hours and say, on Mondays, I don't take appointments. All right. I focus on what I'm going to do the entire week, which I'll have already planned on Sunday. All right. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I normally train. All right. Fridays is my networking time. All those people who say, Frida, I'd like to pick your brain. Welcome. You can pick my brain at a nice restaurant and pay the bill. All right. So Wednesdays is normally meeting. Wednesday is normally for meetings. So that way, I'm not running around saying I don't have time. I have 24 hours. They are mine to control, to do as I love and please, to serve and support everywhere that I have said yes. So that is my time story.
Wow. Wow. I like that. I like that. I like your mantra that we have 24 hours and we have to make a choice. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. And another thing, Kathy, I'll add for you. When consultants speak, people like Frida,
Yeah.
so somebody
Mhm.
hears and just takes that, what I've said, and they want to go and try it. And
Yeah.
while there's nothing wrong with that, it could be harmful to you. Before you organize anything and try to change it based on what on hearing somebody else or based on receiving new information, the first thing you need to do is an audit. You always want to know, where are you versus what this person has said, and what do you like, so that you can make adjustments to suit your own life. Don't just take what everybody is saying. Even question what some of the, maybe I'm saying everybody has 24 hours. Go and look, maybe you have 26. So don't just take everything the way we tell you. What are the assumptions? What are the questions you need to ask? Do your own audit and then rearrange your life to suit that. When I worked with a client, I've worked with many clients on time auditing so that they can organize what is their role, what is their responsibility, and what are the results that they'd like to achieve in everything that is going on in their life. And in your life, there is work, and then there's family, then there's your social side, and then maybe you want to make some more money. It all depends on who you are. And based on that, now you decide, I only have 24 hours. These are the things I'm going to prioritize in my 24 hours. These are the roles I'm going to prioritize in this season. In this season, as a mother, my children are grown up. I have grandchildren. I try to spend at least once a week, one weekend a month with my grandchildren, if the parents allow me. And when they come, we just have fun. They are girls. I don't have daughters. It is to have fun. And I tell their parents they only come to my house once. Leave them alone. They can watch TV the whole day. When they come back to your house, you can organize them. All right. But that didn't happen in a vacuum. I was intentional about it, about what I want to achieve in the different spaces and categories of my life. And this is seasonal. When my kids were younger, it was different. What kind of support system do I need around me? When I'm older now, how I engage with my children, okay, they're big men, they're all over 30, is based on their time. They're busy. I say, can we meet? They have their own plans. I create a WhatsApp group, I put them inside. Sometimes they'll respond, sometimes they won't respond, sometimes they will leave me alone. I will put them back in. So it's all dependent on you're laughing. Emotionally. You're talking about high pressure in entrepreneur. There's high pressure in the family zone also. But we figure it out and we keep moving. Most importantly, we want to ensure that we remain in love with people. How we respond to people from a point of love, and a point of love based on what the good tells us. Love is kind, love is patient, love holds no record of wrongs. So it's something that we need to be intentional about. How are these Watus behaving around me right now? How am I going to respond? It's a choice. All right. So remaining in love and joyful. Joyful is triggered by gratitude. You talked about pressure of entrepreneurship. Normally, the high pressure is made worse because we are focusing on what is not working. And in the life of an entrepreneur in Africa, there can be so many things that are not working simultaneously on any given day. So being down and out can be valid. Notice I said can be valid, but doesn't have to be. Because you already know this is a high pressure space, I entered it by choice willingly. What do I need to do so that when the pressure is higher than my ability to cope, how do I respond? You have a support group. Who is in your support group? Your support group that will encourage you. Not necessarily people who will always tell you what to do or who will keep, how can I say, bembelezani
Sharing
you.
you. Yeah.
You must have people in your support group who can tell you the truth, the hard truths. You must have people who can inspire you. And you must reduce people who will always tell you, it is just hard. That is just the way it is. No, that is the way it is today, but it can be changed. How can you help me change it? What do we need to do differently so that we can move from here? Because if we keep doing the same thing, we are going to get the same results. Back to you, Kathy.
Well,
As
let's
we say,
do
well,
Kenyan style. Well, hey, I like that part. I think the part of being intentional, that's a good one. I hope the entrepreneurs are picking that one. Let's come into talking about emotional intelligence in action. You find that most most people rely on the IQ, the business skills, and the judgment experience more than now looking at the emotional intelligence. So, probably take us through a bit of just what emotional intelligence is and how an entrepreneur can use to enhance their ability to lead themselves first.
I really like that question. And when I saw the topics you had for me, first of all, I laughed because I don't think I'm the person that should be called to talk on emotional intelligence. But because we are all intelligent and we have emotion, I'm happy to share what I think, my opinions. So for me, emotional intelligence for me is the ability to recognize, to understand, and to manage my emotions while also being present and responsive to other people's emotions. So this has helped me stay steady when things fall apart or don't go as planned. All right. So I've learned to listen more than I speak. You see, in this high pressure space of entrepreneurship, you will plan things, you will dream, you will go and meet people, you will
Yeah,
clients or prospective partners, you will do your pitch, you will
yeah.
come out of there feeling 110% they have taken it. Then
Yeah.
tomorrow morning you will wake up. Not only did they take it, not only did they take your idea, but they have taken your idea and are implementing it without you. What do you do? Or
Wow.
they're using it. There's a situation where now we were talking about emotional intelligence in action. As a volunteer, I volunteer in many spaces, and there's one time that I volunteered and we created a program. We created a program with this organization, and this organization took the program and they got funding. And then they later turned around and said that we copied we copied their idea. They wanted us now to sign an NDA before we start delivering on the program. They also wanted us, what else did they want us to do? They wanted us to bid for our own idea. The
Huh?
associate I was working with was so angry because it's not something I was doing alone. They said, we are not bidding, we are not signing the NDA, let them take it and deliver it. So you cannot imagine the pain we were going through. The lead,
Mm.
the context designer, was so broken. I don't think she has recovered because I've not been able to engage with her again. When I was told that I copied the program and gave it to somebody. Kathy, I kid you not. I was screaming on the phone. All I was doing was saying, guy, like that. The woman told me, Frida, stop screaming. I told her, do you know this is like giving birth to a child and it is taken from you? We have spent so much time on this thing and then that is how you respond. But this was then. Fast forward today, I've learned. I listen, I listen. I speak in tongues in my heart, then I respond. All right. So I didn't get here overnight. I must tell you that. But one thing I've learned for emotional intelligence in action is I listen more than I speak, which
Mm.
isn't always easy in a world that celebrates loud voices. Okay. But choosing silence, knowing which battles matter, and letting go of the need to be right has really helped me to grow and just move on. I move on without, how can I say, you know, you have moved on and grown if you
Yeah.
see those people and you're not feeling anything. But if you see those people and there's still something here, or you want to look the other way, then there's still something there. So based on my value, based on my values of integrity, I'll need to deal with it, not just through prayer. I may need to speak to that person and let them know how that situation made me feel and let them know that I forgive you, I move on. Do you still have something against me or whatever? So it will depend on how what I'm feeling takes shape. But I want to say that our feelings are signposts. So many times we are not taught about our feelings, especially in the Christian circle. We'll be told, just have faith, don't worry about your feelings. And I wondered, why did God give us feelings if we are not supposed to worry about them? God gave us feelings because it is a sign. Just like when you're driving, then you see a sign 40,
Yeah.
40, you see 40 and a circle. It means don't go beyond 40. All right.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you feel in your heart like a thing, all right, it means that this thing is not sorted. Either you need to step back and find out what to, not either, step back and find out why you're still feeling like this and determine what what action are you going to take? Because if you don't, it's going to fester there. And if it festers, it's not doing you any good. Remember that other person is carrying on with their life. You
Yeah.
should also be carrying on with your life in joy and peace. All right.
Yeah.
So that is emotional intelligence in action for you in the high pressure space of entrepreneurs.
You know, when you're saying about reflecting back, I was thinking how we'd gone for a visit organized by Ovid to the Japan embassy, and
You went already.
yes, went already. So one of the representatives there was actually talking to us about the culture of how they sort of like respond back. You know, these sort of they do a pause, then they speak. So I've caught that up when you've actually mentioned that we're in an environment where you must give an answer immediately. You know, you must be heard. And then it took me back to that when you've just mentioned about now. I've just reflected the Japanese because they don't just say yes immediately. I'm like, I nod, I'm thinking about it, and then I'll tell you the answer.
A long time ago, when I was younger, I worked with Japanese, and
Mm-hmm.
they're the most interesting people. They don't
Mm-hmm.
rush into things, they really think. And my second son is, I always call him, you're a half Japanese. He studied Japanese, he lived with Japanese. So he behaves
Ah,
like them. He really takes time. If you see him react, that thing has reached him here.
wow. Okay.
And he'll be shaking.
Oh, wow. Wow.
But anyway.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. So let me think. Let's go through now from insight to impact. So probably you can with the experience using the different entrepreneurs you have actually like met. Since I know you have met them when they are starting, when they're matured, and they're all over. So how can founders turn the self-awareness into intentional self-leadership that inspires others and sustains impact?
I like that question. Um, there's what I call the twins of impact, and the twins of impact are once you become self-aware, you become self-aware of who you are,
Hmm.
and also aware of what the world needs. All right,
Hmm.
then you begin to formulate a vision. All right, so
Yeah.
like I formulated the vision of Passion Profit because I was tired of people asking me for work. Two, I was tired of people telling me tunangangana, tunasukuma. All right. So that irritation made me start thinking, what can I do to make a difference? And that's how Passion Profit was started. So it's a vision that still exists since 2009 to support individuals and institutions to live, work, and thrive. Just to enjoy. I always want to say to enjoy life. So, what is your vision? What is the preferable mental image of a preferable future? All right. So, number one, a mental image. I want the world better where people can use their skills, their education to solve real problems and make some money, but have fun while they're doing it. That's a vision. And then, what are your values? What are your values in terms of what do you value? All right. I know we can come up with all kinds of smart things. I value authenticity. I value integrity. And integrity is what I live and what I think and say are aligned. All right. I value excellence. That's why I'm a time freak. I'm a time freak because number one, excellence is doing the same thing, or setting a standard and then doing it always. All right. So I set a standard. I want to honor people when they say 8 o'clock, I show up. By 8 o'clock, I'm ready. So I'll show up 15 earlier or 30 minutes earlier because that is part of my excellence. Some people say their excellence is, but life is not a straight line. That is too harsh. So I'll just give an excuse. I'm sorry I was late because of traffic. I'm sorry of this or the other. But if you live in Kenya, you know there will be traffic. So I tell people that is an old tale. All right. Because no matter where you live, you should know the traffic patterns. If you live beyond Mombasa Road, Rongai, and all that, and you're coming into town around 7, there will be traffic. You don't need a prophet to tell you. So what do? You leave much earlier, find a place to sit in town until your meeting starts, or organize your mouth to tell people, sorry, I'm late because of traffic. And then everybody remember you. Oh, the one who came late because of traffic. How do you want to be remembered? Remember, we are talking about impact through insight. So, what are your values? Because you're going to make impact based on your vision, what you value, what you're passionate about, and how you want the world to be different. And then your values are those things that you believe that control how you respond to different situations, and the things that will make you break or make a deal. So those are the things that these two are the twins of true self-leadership. When you when you're clear on those, your actions align, your message becomes authentic and inspirational, and your impact becomes sustainable, not just performative. You get it's sustainable, it's
Yeah.
transformative. People rely on it, they can use it and not just conform and do groupthink things, but their lives get changed. Thank you.
Mm, I like that. We call them the twins of impact. Oh, we are learning so much today. So now, as we go to a close, now reflecting on your journey, what personal breakthrough or mindset shift most strengthened your ability to lead from within?
I want to say patience.
Oh,
Patience
mm-hmm.
is, I don't know, I don't have the dictionary. Now I wish I got it, the dictionary meaning of patience. But patience, because as an entrepreneur, there are things that you set out to do. There's a
Yeah,
dream that you have that keeps you going, but
yeah,
it is not happening as in the dream. And even vitukwa ground, ziko different. Things on the ground are not the same. So
yeah.
just being having that personal conviction that this thing is going to come to pass, all right, being
Mhm.
patient about it. So I think that is my top one. And then as you're patient, how do you respond to life? Because when you're being patient, you're being quiet and you're waiting for this thing to manifest. Life
Mhm.
is going on. Life has not stopped with you. All right. So
Yeah.
people are going to be good to you or they're going to be bad to you. No matter how good you are, you will always have people, followers and haters. All right. So people who follow you and they hate you, whatever. All right. So how are you going to respond? Because the first thing I say that all things rise and fall on relationships, and relationships are made of people. So people are going to be your biggest test. All right. In this
Mhm.
season, when you're trying to be patient, you don't look like what your dream is looking. The people who are going to judge you, the people who are going to talk about you, you can get depressed. You see young people getting depressed and hanging themselves. All right. How are you
Yeah.
going to respond? I will respond with love. Okay. I'll be
Mm.
kind. And being kind does not mean I'm a good person. It's a choice that I'm using because I have decided that this is one of my values. All right. I'll be kind. I'll show up. I will not keep a record of and keep rehearsing the things that they have done to me that I feel are wrong. Take a stance that everybody is doing the best they know. So
Yeah.
that time they are hurting me, maybe they didn't mean to hurt me. They feel they're telling me the truth. I should just suck it up, whatever. The choice now lies with me. How am I going to respond? I choose to respond in love. I will not keep a record of wrongs. I have a very
Mm.
small brain space and heart space. I will use it to manage and manifest things that I want. So number two, I will practice joy. I will practice joy by being grateful for the things that are working. Everything that is working in my life, being grateful for it, as opposed to looking at the other things that are not working. That is a recipe for depression. So in
Mm.
patience, I
Mm.
know that right now I'm staying in South B because this is my level. But one day I will stay in Kileleshwa, I'll stay in Karen because that is where I want to go. And I'm doing what I need to do until then. Right now, I will climb Matatu because that is my level. But a time is coming, I will own my own aeroplane. What do
Oh,
I do in between? All right. My family
yeah.
always say, figure with what they own, because I always talk about it. When I'm in the airport, I say, like, I'm grateful I'm sitting here, but if I had my own jet, we'd be on the runway right now. You get things like that. The other day, I was the first one to say in our family group, have you guys had Bezos is getting married? I follow things like that. And I now told them, Bezos is getting married. There are 95 jets coming to his wedding. And when I talk about one helicopter, you people think Frida Nimjaluo. No, 95 jets were coming to his wedding, and there were 15 yachts. The only reason there were 15 yachts was, and this wedding was in Venice, not
Yeah.
because, not because there were no other people who wanted to come with their yachts. Those are the number of yachts that could be taken in that water channel at that time.
Mm.
You get, so I like life. I like watching life and the contrast of life and seeing what is possible, as opposed to others are saying, "Oh, he's being too extravagant. I don't know this or the other." No, it is his money. He has earned it. You go and earn yours and enjoy your life. So number one, I will respond with love. I will practice joy and I will practice peace. Peace is knowing when to engage and when to when to release. All right. Like that time, I was
Yeah.
screaming my head out that what have they done? And I'm the one who stole their program. I was screaming my head out. Nowadays, I just say, oh, thank you for letting me know. Have a good day. And I carry on. So, and then harmony. Align with what's true for me and protect the space fiercely. I don't
Mm.
have to align with the lies and the opinions of the world that do not align with what my vision and values are. Many times people align with the opinions of the world or opinions of society and opinions of others, then they
Yeah.
get themselves all, how can I say, all depressed. I remember one time
Mm.
my granddaughter came home when I was still living with her, and she
Mm.
said, "Sure, I don't know who called me. I can't even remember the name." And she was crying. So I
Mm.
started laughing.
Oh.
And she said, "You're laughing, you're laughing, and so called me a name." Then I
Mm.
asked her, "What is your name?" She told me her name. I
Mm.
said, my name is Frida. If somebody calls me Wanjiko, I'll continue walking because I'm not Wanjiko. But if they call me Frida, I'll align with them and I'll walk. Many entrepreneurs are aligning themselves with other people's vision and values that are not in line with theirs and getting all depressed, stressed out. Yes, the statistics tell us that businesses don't make it to their fifth birthday. All right, so you can
Yeah.
change that narrative. Why are they not making it to their fifth birthday? What do I need to do to make sure mine makes it to the fifth birthday? So I say, thank you very much for that information. I am now informed. I'll do differently. And when I go beyond my fifth birthday, I'll tell you. Even if I don't go beyond my fifth birthday, I'll let you know what I'm doing if you're interested. As long as I'm alive, there's still problems to solve, and I'll solve the
Yeah.
ones that I can. So love, joy,
Mm.
and harmony.
Peace and harmony.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I like that. I've liked especially the one for I've liked one for harmony, aligning with what's true to you. And
Yeah.
I like that you've actually spoken to that because as you're aware, entrepreneurs also get we all get confused with what spaces we should be in. We are so afraid that you're going to miss out. And just
Yeah.
like your situation,
Without story.
yeah, you're thinking, oh my God. In fact, I think you mentioned it once upon a time in one of our meetings together with other team members, how you're attending this, you're attending that. So before you know it, the whole year you've attended almost 50 conferences. You've gone to 10
Or what?
exhibitions. Yeah, but you've not gotten anything out of it. So I think that's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, thank you so much.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for having me.
Uh, it was a very insightful conversation. We look forward to the next one. And I just want to say I'm very grateful because this part of leadership, especially for entrepreneurs, is very much needed.
And I want to encourage entrepreneurs because when we were growing up, uh, in the 90s, Depends when you grew up. We used to be told that empty debes, empty vessels make the most noise. All
Yeah.
right. But
Yeah.
today, when you go to these meetings, people have adopted a style. I don't even know where they got it from.
Mhm.
Where I think it's from the West. In the West, if you're quiet, you're people perceive you as you're ignorant, or you don't know, you are a mumu, as the Nigerians would say. All right. But so you find that in every meeting you're told, okay, we only have two questions. Five people want to ask the same question. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some are
Yeah.
even standing up and saying, I don't want to ask a question. I want to give my opinion. We were not asking for opinions right now. You're wasting our time. Those are the people who don't understand the value of 24 hours. And the program had 30 minutes. The organizers put 30 minutes because the thought you are going to listen to the thought leaders. You may have a question or two, but you can also network with those people by going and meeting them, getting their contact, and sharing your opinion with them later. It doesn't have to be now. So that is really ego. Ego is what prompts us to get up and make noise, according to Peter. So I
Mm.
encourage entrepreneurs to lead by conviction, not noise. Don't just speak to be heard, speak to transform. Don't just speak to impress. And this is where people get offended with the things that I say. But you will be remembered for the things that you say. Like right now, I'll be remembered for all my sandpaper. All right. Focus on being transformative and not performative. But you just want to perform, you want to be seen. All right. So, and these are things that are very subtle, they can only be known by you. I have a mentor who will be in meetings, a very brilliant guy. All right. He's a learned friend, a Mesoma.
Yeah.
But when we're in meetings, and then we are going around the room. When you're going around the room, then everybody is saying there are two pence, as they say. So I'm like, if you're going to say two pence, just be quiet. Don't give us two pence. But anyway, so when it comes to him, he says, I have nothing. I have nothing. What does he normally say? That I have nothing valuable to add. All right, everything has been said, and he will definitely have something if he wanted to, but he's being conscious of the time. He's being conscious that, oh, for the
Mm.
so 1 hour that we had, everything
Yeah.
that we need, the next step has been said. I don't need to take people's time. All right. So being
Yeah.
conscious of our conviction is very critical. So are we speaking because we want to be seen, we want to be right? So that is selfish.
Mm.
Ask yourself, do I need to speak right now? There are rooms I sit in and I'm quiet and I'm being prodded. Frida, say something. All right. If I
Mhm.
have something to say, I'll say. If I don't have something, I'll say thank you for the opportunity. I don't have anything valuable to add at this time. Like I've learned from my mentor. And I feel very clever. All right.
Oh, thank you. I like that. I like that. I hope people have taken it to point. Yeah, it's a bad habit, unfortunately. Yeah, you always, so the questions end up being three, they're now 10, and then now we're all getting restless. But thank you for that reminder.
Okay.
Well, I know you needed to dash, so I just want to say thank you for the insightful conversation. Thank
Thank
you
you, ma'am.
all for your presence. Let's keep the conversation going. So, I just want to remind you that our weekly founders conversation is just one of the many ways SME Founders Association connects you to money, markets, and mentors while preparing you to grow with a supportive community of doers and dreamers. Sign up for just 5,000 shillings a year and be part of a movement where your next opportunity could be just one conversation away. Log into our website www.smefoundersassociation.com and email us at hello@smefoundersassociation.com. I've been your host, Catherine Karaoke. I want to leave you with a quote from John Maxwell from his book, The Self Aware Leader, Play to Your Strength and Unleash Your Team. He says, the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop leading. I repeat, the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop leading. Thank you, and looking forward to seeing you next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.